Post-COVID, many churches have been struggling to find their footing now that they're opened back up, whether it's struggle sessions about diversity or far too much time spent asking, can we celebrate the statement Black Lives Matter without associating ourselves with the movement? The church is seeing a steep decline in attendance. The haters who celebrate this fact as the death of Christianity in the West not only do so at their own peril, but they also fail to realize something. Practicing Christians have been the minority in this country for a long time. The vast majority of this country is a group of people who say they believe in God and answer yes when they're asked if they believe in Jesus when they get pollsters to come around. But they're not authentic Christians. Poll after poll claims that Christianity is on the decline, but the truth is polls are finally catching up to what we've always known. As the culture shifts left and the social cost of being a practicing Christian increases, poser Christians find it less necessary to go to church or to claim when they're asked if they're Christians to say that they are. And we see that in a new poll by Gallup. Americans' belief in God, the devil, and other spiritual entities has fallen to a new low. According to a Gallup poll released on Thursday, 74% of Americans said they believe in God, while 69% said they believe in angels and 67% said they believe in heaven. The poll found slightly smaller shares, 59% and 58% said they believe in heaven and the devil. Belief in all five spiritual entities has fallen between 3 to 5 points since 2016, the last time Gallup polled Americans on the topic. Since the pollster first began collecting survey data on the subject more than 2 decades ago, belief in God and heaven has dropped 16 points, while belief in hell has fallen 12 points, and belief in the devil and angels has decreased by 10 points. So here's my belief about all of this, is that these polls are just merely catching up to the reality of what is going on in society. We are living in polarizing political times. And again, true Christianity represents a spiritual transformation and not just a yes on a poll. So real Christianity is much more rare than what the poll would suggest. And I think now the poll is just starting to come back a little bit closer to reality. But again, all of this is becoming more apparent because we are presently living in very polarizing times. And now I understand that there can be some downside to polarization, especially if it's extreme polarization. But for a moment, I just want to look at this poll, and I want to look at polarization, and I want to try to help you understand how polarization can actually be a good thing. So point one, polarization has winnowed out real Christians from posers. Authentic Christians have known for a long time that statistics are erroneous. Polarization has only allowed and forced people to take a side more accurate to their actual position. In other words, Christians have real authentic Christians who have been spiritually transformed and believe the scripture are much rarer than what these polls suggest. In other words, polarization has forced people to be exposed for what they really believe. Now, point two, polarization helps sidelined Christians think about where they stand on issues. So real Christians, when the middle of roads and there's no place to stand in the middle, it forces Christians to take a stand. And a polarized Christian is better than an apathetic one. And point three, change happens in polarization. For better or worse, polarization puts issues at the fore and it forces us to make a decision. Sure, that's scary, but it's also promising. If, and this is a big if, we can find the appropriate moral structure to inform us on where we should stand. So even if you don't like the Bible, perhaps it's time you started recognizing that even the most hardened atheist has to get their moral structure from someplace. And here's where Richard Dawkins gets his.
What's your moral code? I suppose it's a version of the Golden Rule.
So if the author of The God Delusion can be honest enough to tell us that basically his moral structure is just stolen from the Christian framework, then maybe it's important for us to take those little things called Bibles, blow the dust off them, and finally start really reading them, so that we're not just smuggling in Christian values by virtue of the fact that they've been a part of our culture, but that we're actually really investigating the power and the importance of Christianity in our own daily lives. As you do so, I think you'll find films like Oppenheimer way more provocative than Barbie among other things. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go with God. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video, so you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.